Well, one constant of the economy is how shops on London's high streets are struggling to survive a fight many are losing. Yet, one of the world's biggest brands has just opened one of its biggest stores right here in the capital. Chanel seems so confident of success, it's happy to locate in one of the most expensive areas of real estate on the planet. The details now from Ria Chatterjee.
It's a little like walking into someone's house, and that was the intention. The store is modelled on Coco Chanel's Paris apartment, where the designer once spent her days hidden upstairs watching shoppers as they came in and out of her boutique.
And this is a relatively new thing. I mean, 25 years ago you would just go, well, I need some clothing, you know, but now fashion has over the last 10 years melded so much with fine art and artists, which is great. The great new patrons are the high-level fashion houses, and now they're all hiring better and better architects. And this fusion, it's an exciting moment that we live in. I think it's really value added for all the people who come in.
Silk woven walls and symbols of good luck in the form of lions and wheat sheaves, things Coco Chanel had in her apartment. The 12,500 square feet boutique speaks opulence and detail, everything you'd expect in this part of town. London has over 200 high streets. Some of them are like this one, brimming with luxury, the tills ringing and the cash flowing in. But of course, that's not the case for every shopping street in the capital. A report published by the London Assembly this year states there are around 3,500 empty shops on the high streets. So what makes people buy big?
For the past 20 years, we have been able to work consistently on this creativity and make the brand evolving in this direction, and also be sure that our customers understand and perceive this creativity. Historically, the reason why we are here is first for the British customers. Okay, that's very important. And on top of that, because the situation of the city has evolved, we have been able to get and to attract a lot of wealthy customers living here or just coming business or any reason.
The dedicated followers now have a brand new reason to visit this street. The industry pros say it's the dedication that keeps them recession-proof. Ria Chatterjee, ITV News, New Bond Street.
Isabel Canville is a senior retail analyst working for Planet Retail, and she specialises in the global clothing and luxury retail markets. Thank you for coming in to talk to me. It's not that unusual, is it, that the high end of the market survives a recession, survives an economic downturn?
No, it's not unusual. I mean, it's fairly recession-proof at the moment. We're seeing a lot of spend coming into London. It's still a very popular tourist area. You're getting a lot of Chinese consumers coming in, shopping along, you know, major shopping streets like New Bond Street. Middle Eastern shoppers as well. They come to London. It's a really attractive market, and as a result, a lot of these luxury retailers need to open up big stores. I mean, you look at the popularity of a retailer like Burberry and the huge store and the buzz that was created around its opening. That's what they have to do now in order to showcase their brand.
And it's great for the capital to think that we're going to attract foreign tourists or the bigger spenders in this country down to the city to spend their money on Bond Street in shops like that. But is there any way that that then has a trickle-down effect on helping the struggling high streets, or is that just two separate things, unfortunately?
Unfortunately, I do think it's two separate things. You do have the high streets. There's no reason why a tourist would want to go out of town to go shopping. They do want to go to these major sort of centres where all the brands are. You have the out-of-town shopping centres which are performing really well, like Blue Water and Westfield, and they're doing really well because they're attracting local people. There's parking, but it's much more structural in the city centre, in town centres.
Which again is great news for the economy in general, but not great news for the high street. So where does the fix come there? Because some people would say that actually it's nothing to do with the recession. The high street was failing anyway because it didn't capitalise on trying to improve for the future, given the internet shopping and the growth of that.
Yeah, I think there was they were already being affected on the high street by, one, the supermarkets were expanding into new categories, which meant a lot of specialists went out of business. You also have a lot of more people going into areas where there's parking, like shopping centres, and they got rid of, it's very difficult to park on a town high street. And of course, the e-commerce accelerated the decline. I think it's going to be quite difficult to revive them. I think Mary Portas is doing a great job because, I mean, she's looking at new businesses that can go on the high street, like leisure or doctors' surgeries or different ways of using the high street now. But overall, I can't see this trickling down to the high street, unfortunately.
So we have to think laterally in the future about how we use our high streets and how we get people to go to them as well as going to the out-of-town centres.
Yeah, definitely. We have to think about different retailers. I know discount stores are growing in popularity, convenience stores are growing in popularity, and these can all sit very well on the high street alongside other services, which I think would be much more of a community-based high street, which is non-comparable with the likes of New Bond Street.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in the different boroughs and different high streets in London.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Cahill, thank you.